Welcome back to another Tesla video. Here I install this isn't really an install explanation video, it's more of a problems that I ran into video. Hopefully my problems would keep you from running into the same problems. These are the Powersteps. I've had these Powersteps on the last 3 pickups that I've owned. They're extremely nice because they present themselves when you need them and they fold up out of the way when you don't. Somebody was talking about how they change your ride clearance, but I haven't noticed that. So here, everything fits inside that one large box. And there's not a lot of parts to it, but you do have to go from 48 volts to 12 volts because they run off of 12 volts. So there is an inverter that you have to install. You always want to make sure that you put your truck, if you're going to be working underneath it, you want to put it into the highest setting possible. So here's the page where I've got it in the highest setting possible. Mistake number 1, that's supposed to go on the passenger side, otherwise known as the drinker side. You can see the big old bow in it, meaning that it is on the wrong side. And then I'm putting the back one on, and I proceed to do the same thing, put the wrong side on. So I go look at 100 videos, the instruction manual is lacking. So if you're doing this, the long section of the riser goes to a tire, points to a tire. I don't know if it matters how these go on or not, but this is the wrong side. If so, the lengthwise goes towards the back of the truck and the front of the truck. So you can see here, like I said, this one's on the wrong side. So I take it off, I put the new one on, and when I go to put the new one on, I don't really pay attention to how I install it, and I end up installing it backwards. As you can see here, if it folds out, it's backwards. Now I realize my mistake I've made, spin it around, put it back up there the right way. Okay, now I got the proper one on the proper side, the proper direction. And this is why it's important to see the bow in it. That's not good. So now that I've figured out which way goes where, which one goes where, I fix all 4 of them. Plug in the fronts, the backs. Honestly, this is a 15-minute job. I mean, the holes are wide open. They're just waiting for you to install these things. But it probably took me 2.5 hours because I had them backwards. So I must have uninstalled and reinstalled these things twice on each side. And a little fat man laying around on the ground, not very good. Alright, so now you got to take out the frunk. I've never taken out a frunk before, so I am frantically trying to figure this out. Watching videos, looking at directions. No idea how this comes out. So finally I pull open a YouTube video on frunk removal, and I find out there are 6 bolts that you have to remove. 2 of them hidden behind these little plastic things. So I'm able to finally get the frunk out. One of the reasons for removing that is so that you can get to the actual frunk power. There's 3 wires. Remember, this is a 48 volt system, so there's 3 wires. And that is the connectors. These 3. Get in here so you can see this. They don't really show it very well. He's saying the red wire, which I believe is this one, and then the blue wire. So this wire here. There. So Tesla had something wrapped around these things, making sure they don't short out. But basically, you're going to use the red and blue wire, and then you're going to use the blue and brown wire as your ground. As I'm sitting here watching this, I realize I failed to go back and tape up all those wires. Oh well. Next time I have the frunk out, I'll take care of that. Essentially what you're doing is you're putting in a step-down transformer here. So you're going to go from 48 volts to 12 volts. So the red and the black wire connect up to the truck. And then the yellow and the black wire connect up to a cable. That cable then plugs into the power box. So this bad boy plugs in there. There's a right and a left. Okay, here's left. Just like that. So those cables have to be routed around the wheel well. Right now I just plug them in.
Connect the CAN line to the original vehicle's CAN.
The CAN line is the controller area network line. Looking for this to connect up to something. Okay, look, we can't both be in here, all right? So I'll show you in a minute. So I'm gonna pull that out and plug in. All right, that guy there is what we're looking for, right here. There, right back there. This guy back here. So when you're in here, that's what you're looking for. So it plugs in like that. And then this guy plugs in where it plugged in at. So you end up looking like this. This has to run to the front. Here she is. Okay, now I can put the steps on. Installing the steps relatively easily. They kind of are fiddly, but they're not too difficult. It's just 4 bolts, 2 on each holder. Here I play the will it hold me game. Way up. The steps are not even close to being center right now. Are they? They're off, but is it okay? No, they're off. Those rails are able to slide forwards and backwards. And so what I was doing was trying to kind of line it up exactly where I wanted it. I guess you're supposed to line it up with the middle of the pillars up front. Now you have to take the cable from the inside to the front. You see it in there? It's there. Right here. That's what we want. Right there. Now you gotta put all this back. So you gotta tidy everything up afterwards. So you definitely want to be careful when you take that trim off, and be careful when you put it back on. These wires actually run up and around the wheel well. Those side things just pop off, and then you can run the cable right up inside the channel. Once you get to the front end, there's a way that you can put it right inside the frunk, so that you don't have any exposed cable. And as you can see here, it hides the cable pretty well. you ever need to get in your truck and there's no power, these guys right here, that's your jumper. It's located right inside this panel right here. Just pop off those connectors, reach in there, grab the wires, and jump it. Alright. Let's make sure they still work. Scared me there for a second. Wasn't working. But I took off all the wires, plugged them all back in one by one, and now seems to be working. Let's see. I put all this shit back together. So I have found out as the truck sits overnight, you have to go in and reset the power to the Frunk. Otherwise, they work perfectly. If you've made it to this part of the video, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe for more. Thanks. See you on the next one.